Shaka Smart and the Marquette Golden Eagles back on campus, but they won't be staying that long. They're back to NCAA tournament action next week in Dallas. And we'll be talking a lot of college hoops coming up tonight on the FOX6 Sports Blitz. I'm Tim Van Voort. Next to me is Bart Lundy, head coach of the UWM Panthers. And you see Lily Zhao joins us from Indianapolis. So let's get going right off the bat with a simple question for both of you. Bart, I'll address it to you first. Are you a fan this time of year? You make your livelihood in this business, but are you a fan at tournament time?
I am. This is why I got into coaching. You know, I grew up on ACC basketball, but the NCAA tournament. And I can remember, I won't say what year, but North Carolina lost in the national championship game. I was a kid. And I can remember crying my eyes out when they lost. Yeah. And I think they won it the next year. So, tears of joy the next year.
I got you. And Lily Zhao, being around the games down there in Indianapolis with Purdue there and everything, all those fans, how was that environment?
It was phenomenal. I mean, we were, doing our shows with you guys, and I think fans were outside for probably about an hour trying to get in. They were lined up for about 6 blocks around Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Just a fantastic atmosphere here in Indianapolis, and a lot of games still going on that we were watching and kind of getting a lot of joy from. So this time of year, March Madness, nothing beats it.
Awesome. Okay, let's hear from Tyler Kolek, and then I want to hear from you guys about Marquette. Here we go. Marquette's All-American point guard after today's win.
Yeah, obviously it's been a long time coming. Even for this group, we feel like it's been a long time coming. That first year didn't go how we wanted. The second year certainly didn't go how we wanted. And then, coming back this year, we had a vengeance. And I told the guys before the game, this moment has been in our nightmares, and we're not running from it anymore.
They're running on to the next round, the Sweet 16. Lily, what'd they do best?
This team is resilient. I think we've talked about it all tournament long, right? We saw the push that Western Kentucky made in the first half of that first round game. Marquette came back. They were resilient, and they responded. And now their second round game against Colorado, the Buffalo showed fight in the second half, tied the game up 3 times. And what did the Golden Eagles do? They didn't panic. They didn't let things get to them. They played their brand of basketball, and they were able to rebound and get the games and win the game. So that's what really impressed me with this Marquette team. They talked about how much experience matters to them, and it really shine through because, again, these guys have played together for so long, but they've been on this big stage before in the NCAA tournament, and that is what matters. They were able to draw from those experiences, and that's what helped them win. And they're led, of course, by their defense and a star player in Tyler Kolek, and that's exactly why Marquette is advancing to the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2013.
Bart, you played Colorado this year with UWM. Obviously, you played Oakland, which has been a tournament darling here. As you're watching these teams and as you watch Marquette line up with those teams, how do you think the Golden Eagles can fare going forward?
I think they've got a favorable road. The Oakland was definitely a good team for the Horizon League, but NC State squeaked by, and I think NC State has gotten everything they can get out of that team. So I like the road that Marquette has. I think they're playing with confidence. They've won close games. If you look at, we're talking about Buzz, you see if Buzz could pull this out, you look at his road compared to Marquette's road, I think the Golden Eagles have a nice shot.
You were an assistant under Buzz Williams at Marquette. Marquette last in the Sweet 16, 2013. You had left then, but Buzz was obviously still there. Yeah. What is the secret of tournament basketball in general for a coach when you have played all season with your guys and then you get these kind of rapid-fire opponents?
Well, I think it's your systems. Buzz has had success because he has a brand. When I look at good coaches and good teams, you can tell what they're trying to accomplish on both sides of the ball. And with Buzz, you better keep that thing out of the paint, and they're going to come at you defensively. So that's never changed, and he's had success. And I look at that Marquette team, and I see the same thing.
And Shaka Smart obviously really believes in energy and frenetic approach there, Lily. Are these guys tired at all of that, or because that's been the brand, to use Bart's term, they're used to it and they are using that as an advantage?
Yeah, I don't think they're tired whatsoever. This is a really good team in transition, and they kind of proved that against Colorado today. They're going to love to run up and down the court. That's what they really feast on here. And I don't think these guys believe there is any sort of tired word in the NCAA tournament because every team is going through this, and they're just lucky to be one of the last 16 teams standing in this fight. So, they're going to say, yeah, we're tired, we have to get our legs under us, but they're going to really relish the opportunity to run up and down the court on Friday against NC State because, this is NC State State team that's played a lot of games in a lot of days as well. So no excuses for anybody in the tournament, especially for the Marquette Golden Eagles. They know what's at stake, and they are really, really ready to go here, Tim.
All the way back to 1974, NC State beat Marquette in the national championship game. That was Tom Burleson and David Thompson, and we're talking some names back there. And there will be the rematch coming up Friday. It's a 6:09 tip time, local time. How good is this time of year for college basketball? I have not remembered a flat NCAA tournament in many years, it seems like, Bart. There's always something that captures the imagination.
Yeah, I think it's, at least to me, it's the marquee tournament sport in the world. And you can argue the Super Bowl is a single event that's maybe bigger, but who doesn't love March Madness? And, we don't have that Cinderella team maybe this year. I was hoping that one of those smaller schools would bust through, but great matchups throughout.
No question. Wisconsin with an early exit, Lily, and didn't really even put up much of a fight against one of those other smaller schools with a lot of wins, James Madison. Where's the Badger program right now?
It's kind of in a tough, road right now, Tim, because you saw, we're talking about Connor Sejan putting his name in the transfer portal, and, you're going to lose a lot of seniors, AJ Storr probably as well. So when you're looking at this team and what they bring back, is this going to be a team that's going to be able to make a push for the postseason and make an actual push in the postseason? Because when we watched this team take on James Madison, they came out flat. It wasn't the team that beat Purdue just a couple days ago. They had 20 points in the first half and 13 turnovers. You can't do that, especially during the NCAA tournament. I think they had 19 turnovers in the entire game, and that's not playing winning basketball. So just kind of a disappointing display from a Badgers team that really went into the Big Ten tournament and played their butts off. So it was really disappointing to see that that's how they started out in the NCAA tournament, and of course now they're watching from home.
Roster construction, obviously an issue over there in Wisconsin, over there in Madison, that will be discussed going forward with, again, a Sejan leaving and who knows else might depart, who might be coming in. Let's talk about your program a little bit. The UWM Panthers were just one win away from being in this whole big dance too. You've had 2 straight 20-win seasons, which is, I know you were asked after your last game, how do you view things? And you say that's definitely a mark of success. Where's your program now, in terms of where you want it, and in terms of how it stacks up in the bigger picture?
Well, I think we're in a good spot. We've had success these first 2 years. This past season was we had 7 surgeries on our team, so up and down with injuries and a little bit of chemistry. But we ended up winning 7 of our last 8. I think 9 of our last 11. And we made a great run. We're 2 minutes away with Oakland. 2 minutes 53 seconds. We're tied at 70. So, you have these breakthroughs in your program, and I think we've broken through everything but the NCAA tournament. We've got a great core coming back. We still, you touched on it. There is fluctuation in your roster.
Sure.
It's just the state of college athletics, but we've got a great core coming back, and I'm excited about the future. I
want to follow with you, and then Lily, I want to get your opinion as well. The state of college athletics. There's a lot going on off the court these days. Does that concern you, or do you just kind of put your head down and deal with what's around you?
Yeah, I think you do. There are things that are swirling around that you can't control as a coach. You give your players the best experience that you can give them. You try to make it about something bigger than themselves. And I think that's what most people want. There's always going to be, we have a player in our program that scored 20 points, I think 7 of his last 8 games. The pressures on him are immense, to go to a bigger school. So, we sit down with these players and these young men and their families and try to figure out what's best for them. Sometimes it's staying, sometimes it's going. But, we're going to keep most of ours, and we're going to keep a good core, and we're going to keep building.
Lily, as you watch these college sports, not just basketball, but we're obviously focusing on basketball right now, do you still feel the college student aspect of it, the amateur aspect of it, or has it changed in the years you've been covering sports?
I think it's changed a little bit in the fact that, kids are allowed to enter the portal, and it's coming around March Madness time, and kids are bouncing back and forth, and now it's more of a recruiting process for coaches. And Bart, I really liked your answer in terms of just you're giving the best experience to your kids, and you're hoping that they love it and want to stay. But, these coaches are dealing with a lot on top of trying to get their teams ready for games, trying to build a really good culture to keep their players. So I think things have really changed in the last couple of years, especially in college athletics, and we'll see really what what extra change will come in the future. But right now, I think it's important for these coaches, like Bart mentioned, just to focus on themselves and just see what happens, because at the end of the day, the players have a say in where they want to play, where they want to be. But I think when you bring in a good culture, that's where kids want to stay.
And have the kids changed in your years of doing this? Again, you've been at high levels, you've been different levels all the way through. Have they changed at all or no?
I think in their core, no. There's some that work really hard and some that skirt around. I think what has changed are the pressures to not stay in one place. I think that it's with social media and with some of the people who are attached to players that it's popular to go into the portal. When you go into the portal, there's a tweet, and then there's subsequent tweets, and it looks cool. And I think there's maybe not enough folks in their camps telling them, hey, stability is an important thing in life. So hopefully it normalizes. I think it will. But right now we're in a kind of a new era.
And there are some numbers that would indicate just because you go to the portal doesn't mean you're going to land on your feet somewhere else. Some of those players kind of get lost in the portal. It doesn't really work out for them. Lily, pressing question for you. Do you have enough clean laundry to get through a full another stretch here with the Golden Eagles? You get back quickly, then you got to be on the way to Dallas.
Listen, thankfully we're close enough to Milwaukee that I will probably do a couple loads of laundry and we'll be on our way to Dallas. But if you were to ask me right now, the answer is no. But if you ask me on Tuesday, the answer will be yes.
Outstanding. You have to survive and advance in any aspect of tournament action this time of year. Well, just like the Badgers, the Marquette women won and done in the NCAA tournament. Golden Eagles lose 67-55 to Mississippi. Liza Carlin leads away for MU, 19 points, 14 boards. She got the most out of her college experience on and off the court for sure. Marquette hangs around, but the Rebels pull away in the fourth quarter. Stick around. We're coming back with Say What.
I want to run through a wall for him.
Maybe, no, didn't miss that. He'd thrown it in from everywhere.
Oh, man, yeah. I didn't know I had to make a case for that.
That almost offends me.
Don't get me wrong, I wish I did.
We talk about being big okay and little okay. We were big okay, but in little okay, we weren't really okay. So we had to just step it up. And, I was kind of rambling there. I don't know if that made sense.
Not sure if you did either, Stevie, but you can get away with just about anything this time of year if you're still alive in the NCAA tournament. And Stevie Mitchell's a guy who totally has his act together on and off the court, so he probably knows more than we do.
That's a hard-playing dude.
Yeah, that's what we're saying here. Let's talk a little Brewers baseball. Bart Lundy sticking around with us. Lily Zhao in Indy. An opening day that counts this week. Lily, has your enthusiasm or confidence level about this Brewers team changed at all through spring training?
I'm enthused and I'm confident for a reason, because Jack Centuria will be on the opening day roster, and I'm super stoked to see what this kid can do. I wonder if they're going to put him out in center field. Again, that's where he's primarily played in the outfield, but we've seen what he's been able to do during spring training, and he's been phenomenal. The offense hasn't been lacking whatsoever, but it's what can he do in the outfield to produce for the Brewers defensively. But I'm really excited to see what he can do for Milwaukee when they open up their season at the New York Mets. So that's going to be really fun, Tim. I think he's going to be a fun addition to this roster. And of course, the opening day starters, is it Freddie Peralta? Probably, and we'll see kind of how that all stacks up. But, they're pretty enthused. New manager, new season. Gotta love baseball.
Absolutely. Love baseball. Speaking of, you get out to the ballpark once in a while, do you not?
I do. The family loves it, and we weren't at the ballpark during the run last year. That was a little disappointing at the end, but we were cheering at home, and it was a big event in the Lundy house.
Yeah, I can imagine, no question about it. And baseball's kind of like your companion during the summer. They're there every night. The Brewers are. Brandon Woodruff's not going to be there, though, telling the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, Lily, he's not going to pitch this year. We pretty much knew that was a likely scenario. Is there enough pitch? There's certainly enough bodies. Is there enough pitching on this staff?
You would have to hope so, because right now they have who they have, right? So you have Freddie Peralta. Wade Miley won't start probably for another 3 to 4 weeks because of that shoulder. So you have, Freddie Peralta. You have Joe Ross, DL Hall. What can those guys do? Colin Ray as well. So you're hoping that those arms are good enough to get you through in terms of when Wade Miley can come back and when these other arms can get healthy as well. So hopefully there is enough pitching, because as we know, this Brewers ball club really relies on their starting rotation and of course their relievers as well. That's kind of been just the pattern for Brewers baseball, so hopefully that carries on this season as well. Without
Devin Williams at the back of that bullpen, at least at the start of this season, so certainly something to monitor. But yeah, baseball right around the corner. So we talked some basketball, we talked some baseball. The Wisconsin women's hockey team makes it all the way to the national championship game, so let's get the ice ladies in on this as well. The Badgers do lose 1-0 to Ohio State. All 26 shots stopped by the Buckeyes goaltender. Joy Dunn scores the lone goal, less than 8 minutes to play. So that is it. Great run by the Wisconsin Badger hockey team, but there you go. You have to watch your opponents celebrate a national championship when the final siren goes off. All right, high school hot shot next. We appreciate your company tonight on the FOX6 Sports Blitz. She's a state champion in 3 different sports and has a very special someone to help motivate her passion. Here's this week's high school hot shot.
Hi, I'm Charlotte Featherston, a senior at DSHA, and I'm on the USM Co-op ice hockey team. I would definitely say a gritty hockey player, and that I'm willing to go and battle in quarters and do the stuff that no one else wants to do. I don't think I'm the flashiest player. All growing up, I played with the boys. Playing with the boys did help bring out that killer instinct side of me. I was able to be playing against my cousin. He helped me become like the more competitive version of myself, because I was never going to lose to him. In the fall, I play field hockey, and then in the spring, I play soccer.
But there were no rabbits at his door.
This is Vocare. It's a 2-week experience where seniors go and serve in the Milwaukee community, my site being St. Anthony's. I haven't been in a kindergarten classroom since I was in kindergarten, and so coming back and making those connections with like these little kids has been so special.
The end.
I'm in HOSA. I am a Marian Scholar peer mentor. I'm in Best Buddies. The special needs community means so much to me because my sister has Down syndrome. My sister Elise is such a positive influence in my life, continuously makes me laugh. I think that's one thing that motivates me to be my best and do my best. At the end of the day, you're not going to remember wins and losses, but instead who you shared that time with and who you made those memories with. I'm Charlotte Featherston from DSHA, and I was Miss Hockey Wisconsin finalist. I'm this week's FOX6 High School Hotshot.
Hey, nice to meet you, Charlotte. Great stuff there for sure. She plans to attend Williams College and play hockey and study chemistry, eventually pursuing dentistry. So a lot out there in front of Charlotte. A lot out there in front of us tonight on the FOX6 Sports Blitz as well. We're back with Lily Zhao and Bart Lundy and me after this. Marquette's bracket is up for Dallas. 1 win, 2 wins, any wins? What do you see from the Golden Eagles, Bart?
It's simple for me. You go with the team with the best point guard, and I like Marquette's chances.
Wow, outstanding. Lily, expecting to work right through the weekend down there?
Yeah, hopefully we're going on to the Final Four. I think, Marquette matches up well with NC State. And, of course, Houston-Duke, that's going to be a tough matchup. But why not Marquette? There's no finish line like the Golden Eagles say, Tim.
Outstanding. Good stuff there. We'll be watching for sure. By the way, just the housekeeping here, Bucks, Lakers at home, then at the Pelicans, at the Hawks later this week. Brewers on the road at the Mets. That is opening day for the Milwaukee Brewers on Thursday. They'll finish out that series, and then they'll come home to Milwaukee. My thanks to Lily Zhao in Indianapolis all weekend long. It's been fun. Nice to have you with us tonight on the Blitz. And, of course, Bart Lundy coming in late on a very busy college basketball weekend to join us. This is fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And, Lily, good to see you.
Awesome. And Brandon Cruz will be back next week. Bart was really good, but he doesn't get to take anybody's place. We'll see you then.